Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Tyler from the Keep Pounding Podcast. What a crazy division. Not the way I wanted us to win the NFC South, but I will take it anyway. The Panthers are NFC South champs for the first time since 2017. This is insane. I'm loving every minute of it. I'll take the dub, even though we didn't earn it. But 8-9, got the tiebreaker, and then you have the Falcons 8-9 too. What a crazy division. And this makes sense. Like, this is totally NFC South. This is the way this is just the way it would make sense that it would go down based on how the season's gone. So I've never rooted so hard for the Falcons in my life. I've never rooted for Kirk Cousins, Drake London. And I hope I never have to do that again, but I will take the dub. Thank you, Falcon fans out there. We a part of Panther Nation. We appreciate your contribution to our team. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So we are in the playoffs. Haven't done that in a minute, but we will be playing the Rams next weekend. I'm not sure when the time and date is. I don't think they've even announced that yet. But the Rams will be hosting a playoff game in the bank next weekend against the Rams, and hopefully defensively we can play the way we were playing last time, and offensively we'll same as well. And I want to get into the game before I kind of get into the Rams part of it, but I want to get into the Panther and Bucks game the other day. It was, obviously not the way we wanted to. We wanted to be able to close it out yesterday, but defensively, I felt like we did enough to win the football game. Roseboom with the interception. I literally tweeted out maybe 10 minutes before he had the interception that Roseboom was a liability because he ended up being a reason why the Bucks scored a touchdown. And then literally 10 minutes later, he gets the interception. But Roseboom with the interception. I thought our third down defense was terrible, especially at the end of the game when we needed to stop to get the ball back and try to tie the game. But we didn't really contain Baker the way that I would want us to, and that was something that was an issue for us a couple weeks ago when we played them the first time. But not being able to contain Baker in the pocket continued to be an issue for us. But overall, the defense did enough to win this football game. They did enough. We got a interception, so defense did come to play. The offense, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the refs, man. Not only do we have to play the Bucks, we had to play the refs too. The refs were a joke yesterday. There were several horrible play calls on the field. But the refs were a joke. You had the lateral throw to Rico. They blew the play dead. It's whistled dead. It was whistled dead immediately by an official who ruled it a forward pass. Then the referee, Brad Allen, then announced it's a backward pass, that it went out of bounds. It didn't. The Rico had the ball, but it went out of bounds and we lost 6 yards. So the Panthers end up going for a field goal, 54-yard field goal, miss it. You have that play. You have Tampa Bay ripped off Trimble's helmet. No call. And that was just right in the middle of the field. How do you miss that? No flag on the late hit on Tommy Tremble when he was clearly out of bounds. No flag there. You had offensive pass interference on T-Mac. It was a 31-yard catch from roughly our 40, but because of the penalty, we went back 30 yards. So it was like a 40-yard swing. That flag was very late. The flag wasn't thrown when it happened. It was after he got the ball, a few seconds afterwards. And I'm glad that the whole nation watched this, because it wasn't just Panther Nation, watching this game. It was everybody, and it was nice to see everybody on Twitter saying that we got robbed by the refs. The officiating was terrible, and from what I read, I think that was Brad Allen's last game. Thank God, the guy was trash. You had a personal a pass interference on Nick Scott with I believe it was Oton or whatever, the tight end for the Bucks. They tripped on this, they got tripped up. I saw someone say that, if both players are not making a play on the ball, it's no foul. If no players don't make a play on the ball, or if both players make a play on the ball, it's no foul. But if one player makes a play on the ball, which Oton did, and then another player isn't making a play on the ball, it is a foul. It's incidental contact. I mean, I thought that was a really stupid penalty as well. But what was really annoying was the official in the booth going back and forth with Dan Orlovsky in the during the broadcast. But again, it was just the refs were horrible. They need to be investigated. Seriously, like they need to be investigated because that was the worst officiating I have ever seen all season, not just from us, but in general. It was horrible. Um, but offensively, we could not run the ball. We could not run the ball at all. I think we had 5 yards in the first half. I mean, eh, and it wasn't like the offensive line couldn't get any push. Rico's running into offensive linemen. It was just. I think we kind of like bailed the run a little bit, but I think we had total 19 rushing yards. 19. Rico was had 7 rushing attempts for 10 yards, averaged 1.43 yards per carry. Chuba Hubbard had 5 attempts for 10 rushes, 2 yards per carry. I mean, that is not a recipe to win football games. It's not. I thought Bryce did pretty good. I thought I feel like it's been every defense's game plan for us that hey, we're gonna stop the run and make Bryce beat us with his arm. And I feel like Bryce had a good game. Yes, there were turnovers. He had the interception that would have caught. We were going down the field. We would have got points out of that, at least a field goal. But with the interception, Tampa Bay gets it, and they get 3 points off of that. You had the other turnover, the flea flicker fumble. That was the dumbest play call I've ever seen in my life. Given the circumstances, it doesn't make sense. You're marching down the field, you're getting good momentum. It's a drive that you need to score, and you do some fancy crap like that. That didn't make sense to me at all. And what bothered me even more was Dave Canales was he defended the call, saying that he liked the call. It's raining outside. You're 20, 25 yards from the end zone, and you do a flea flicker, and T-Mac wasn't even open. It was a comeback route. It wasn't even a vertical. It wasn't even a go route or up the seam. It was just a 6-7 yard comeback route. The dumbest play call I've ever seen in my life. Not just the play call in general, but given the circumstances of how we were going down the field and that it's raining. And then Bryce not getting on the ball, that gave me some Cam Newton flashbacks there. He went for the ball and then looked at the defender. It was just bad. But I thought that was a terrible play call. But going in and talking about play calls, Canales, I felt like was too conservative this game. We're playing against backup corners. And just a poor defense, Tampa Bay defense in general. They're terrible in pass defense. I feel like he's overthinking things just in general. To me, it's just it's not complicated. Like you have T-Mac, Jalen Coker needs to be your number 2 wide receiver. It looks like he's getting more playing time, more reps, but he needs to be your clear wide receiver too. XL, I'll talk about X. I won't even mention about off-season stuff. I'll talk about him in a different video. But Jalen Coker needs to be your number 2. He needs to be number 2 in the playoffs. Jalen Coker consistently shows that he can be reliable for Bryce Young. He makes tough catches, amazing catches. He's consistent. But you have these guys. You have Mitchell Evans doing well. Yes, the run game isn't working for you, but open up the field. Why didn't you open up the field, throw down the field? I don't understand the reluctancy of throwing down the field, especially a game that you need to win, or like we want to be able to seal and control our own fate, but it's a game that you need to win. Why are we playing conservative against a team defensively anyway that's not that very good? He's play calling not to lose. And there needs to be a mix up where you have to open things down the field, because if you don't, defensively, they're going to creep up and stay aggressive. And that makes it harder for Bryce. You need to open up the field. I feel like in that game, he could have a lot earlier started throwing the ball down the field. And I think that would have opened up the running game. Typically, the running game sets up our play action and throwing down the field. But I felt the way that Bryce was playing, I thought he was having a really good game. I think Canales is starting to hold things back, and I'll kind of go in a different video about that. But to me, At first, about a month ago or so, I was really feeling like Bryce was holding us back with some of the games. But right now, I feel like it's Dave Canales' play calling with how conservative he was against the 49ers game, how conservative he was against the Seahawks game. Yes, I get like you're playing against specifically the Seahawks and the Rams. You're playing against better competition, but when you play against better competition, what bails you out is making big explosive plays. You need explosive plays. You can't play this like five, 2, 3, 4, 5 yard catches. It's not going to, you're not going to win football games that way. He needs to open up the playbook and allow them to throw the ball down the field. Bryce Young, yes, he had some bad throws. The one to the his interception was it floated in the air. It didn't have any zip on it, and the cornerback read it the whole way. Bryce was looking at T Mac the whole time. Yes, that was a poor throw, and there's some other throws that from the sideline that were kind of floating, like he didn't have a zip on it. He needs to be able to plant his foot and throw the ball aggressively. And I don't know if it's just the footwork or if it's just maybe the offensive line and the defender like they're in the pathway of where he wants to throw the ball and he has to like throw it a little higher because of his height and there's a lot of factors to it maybe, but he needs overall he's doing a lot better, and I feel like Dave Canales can trust him throwing the ball down the field because when you allow Bryce Young to throw the ball down the field well, or throw the ball down the field and he starts to be get success with it, it opens up his confidence. It really does, and I feel like that's something that he needs to do against the Rams. See, Saints will be a problem for the division next year. Saints QB has 3,300 passing game or 300 passing games in a row and has the seventh highest completion percentage in the league for 2025. Anyway, I hope the Panthers make it. Appreciate it, Ethan. Yeah, I think the Saints will be a problem next year. Tyler Shuck has been really good. Has been really, really good. I thought obviously his interception throw against Atlanta, going when they're in the red zone, was a pretty bad throw, and defense baited him pretty good, but he is going to be a problem. I totally agree with you. Whenever you have a quarterback that can play really good football, it's going to make your team competitive. And I still think the Saints are still a season or so away from being really competitive because of the cap situation. But Tyler Shuck is going to be he's good, man. People are laughing at the Saints for picking a 26-year-old quarterback, but Tyler is laughing back right at him. He's had a really good season. I think if he started the beginning of the season, he would be offensive rookie of the year. And I'm a Panther fan. I think T-Mac's going to get it. I think it's hard whenever you start, if you only play like 6, 7, 8 games. I think he's played like 7 or 8 games to be offensive rookie of the year. But I think he has the second best betting odds for getting it. But I think with T-Mac, how he's played all season, number one wide receiver for the Panthers. We made the playoffs. I think he's going to get it. But yeah, Tyler Shuck is good. He is. Who dat? I hate everyone in our division besides the Panthers. I can at least stand you. You guys don't brag about crap. Bucks are so cocky. I'm so happy that they kept their coach to stay in mediocrity. Yeah, well, we'll see. You have a Black Monday coming up. I still think I honestly think they'll get rid of Todd Bowles, but I could also see the Bucks. They can be cheap and keep him. But yeah, I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan. I hate Baker Mayfield. So but we haven't won the division since 2017, man. So I'll take it. It's a really shitty division. I mean, I really think it's to be more competitive next year. We'll see what happens in free agency, but what a crazy division, man. 8-9, 8-9, 8-9. I think 6-11. So I think the Saints are going to be a problem. I think again, if Tyler Shuck had started early in the season, I think you guys would have made a push for the division too. And he almost beat the Falcons with only one star wide receiver through to practice squad players. Yeah, he did. Chris Olave was out today. And you had was it Jameson or Jamal? I can't remember the tight end's name, but he loves the tight end. Loves the tight end. But going back into Canales, I just think he overthinks things. He's too predictable. And he needs to throw the ball down the field early. The first downs, we're notorious running the ball on first down. I think we're third in the NFL as far as most the who's run on first down the most. We need to be a little bit unpredictable. Do some play action. Bryce does well with play action. You got good protection. Offensive line struggled on run defense or run blocking, but they did not struggle on pass blocking. But again, T Mac has been great for us. Jalen Coker needs to be wide receiver too, and it's got to happen. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive and unpredictable. And yes, you got to play smart to an extent. You don't want to be over aggressive, right? But you need to take a little bit more shots. You can't wait until it's too late to take your shots. But again, Bryce Young, I felt he did play. I think he's played well. Again, terrible decision on the T-Mac on the comeback route with the corner reading him the whole way. But Bryce is he definitely deserves to have his fifth-year option given. Now, I don't think that the Panthers are going to sign him to a long-term deal. He still needs to show a lot more consistency. If he can get the consistency, like the way he's been playing the last several weeks, I think that you do sign him to a long-term deal. And we'll, after the playoffs, we'll talk about off-season stuff. But Bryce, just play with confidence. Just play with confidence. But with us going into the Rams game, we got to be able to somehow get our run game starting. We got to get our run game going. We have to. If we can't, it's going to be so difficult to pass against Matthew Stafford. And the Rams have a good defense. They do. But we need to be a little more aggressive against the Rams next week. So, but again, I'll take the NFC South champs, victory Monday, victory Sunday, I guess. Victory Sunday. Keep pounding. Falcon fans, again, I appreciate all your help. I really appreciate this. Let's see here. Yeah, that is weird. Everyone ended up with 3-3. Did the Saints end with 3-3 as well? I thought they were 2-3 coming in. No, I know you swept us. And who else did you guys beat? I know the Falcons swept you. Oh yeah, you beat the Bucks. That's right. You did. You beat the Bucks. Nah, we're not playing it, man, bro. When Andy Dalton played against the Bills, we got destroyed like 41-6 or something like that. Andy Dalton is not better than Bryce Young. A lot of Panther fans thought so, but Andy Dalton is even close. Andy Dalton, this is the last year. I think he's going to retire. I think we're going to get a vet to replace Andy Dalton, but not someone that's going to compete for Bryce. I think next year, given a fifth-year option, and we can always tag, but after next season, that's to be a big question mark. Like if Bryce continues to play the way he's been playing if he continues to play the way he's played this year into next year, they're going to have a very tough decision, because if this was his fifth-year option going in and we're going into the next year, it really depends on what who's out in the market and where your draft position is. I don't think you sign him to a big long-term deal, maybe like a 2 or 3 year deal, and you get out in 2 years, because you have to pay someone, there's not that many good quarterbacks out there. There's not. So you have to be in a position in the draft to draft one or trade for one or get one on the market. But Bryce is, he still has some more to prove. I think he may have improved a little bit compared to last year, but not that much, like especially the back half of the season. I think the back half of the season last year, he did a lot better than he did overall this year. But you also have to take in consideration like how well he's done in the fourth quarter in big moments. But I think a part of that is like we play in a lot of tight games. We're, I think, the third best team in the NFL with like one score game wins. We were like 7-2 in the NFL, along with I think the Ravens and the Steelers, I think maybe. So we're building something. We're not a complete team. I think in the offseason, we need to get an edge rusher. We need an inside linebacker, someone that's going to play better than Roseboom. I think that we need I think we can replace Nick Scott. We can get a little bit better at safety. We need offensive line depth. We saw the injuries this year, even though the offensive line did well. There's Brady Christensen. Are we going to re-sign him or not? But I think bringing in some depth there is going to help. I think we're going to re-sign Icky this offseason. I think that might be the first thing we do this offseason. Um, but we need to sign an edge rusher bad, like big splash spinning edge rusher. I don't want to get like DJ Wanham S type of player. I want to get a Trey Hendrickson, a Max Crosby, someone that is pretty elite, because we saw this year how decent the defense did. The defense did really well. I feel like the defense outperformed what we thought going into the season, how they were going to play. I think they outperformed my expectations, but offensively they did not outperform. They underperformed my expectations. But with given how the defense has played this year without consistent pressure at the edge position, if we get good edge pressure, if we get some pressure on the edge and we have better inside linebackers, bro, we're going to be one of I think a top 10 defense. But I think also from the offensive side, we need to get speed. I think Jimmy Horn, he's still a work in progress. I still think he could be something, but we need to add to that group. Like, could you look at tight end? Maybe. I think Mitchell Evans is going to be the up and coming future tight end. I think Javian Sanders is taking a step back this year. I know he had the injuries, but even when he was healthy, he wasn't looking like the old Jatavian Sanders. Tommy Trimble's been looking okay, especially as late the back half of the season. He's looking pretty good. So I don't know if they'll really look for a tight end, but vertical speed, I think that's something that we don't have on this roster besides Jimmy Horn. And that also allows defenses to play a little more aggressive because of the conservative play calling, but also the lack of vertical threat, because Dave Canales this season honestly hasn't really used Jimmy Horn down the field. I think there was one play yesterday that Jimmy Horn was pretty open, and if Bryce Young put a little bit better on him, he could have went to the house with it. But Dave Canales really hasn't used Jimmy Horn as a deep threat. So I think that could be something that Dan Morgan and the staff could possibly go to and go after, to be able to try to create a little bit more speed on the edge. And I think that would really help things out with T-Mac and Jalen Coker. So, but I'm really excited about the, playoffs, man. Once you're in the playoffs, records don't matter. You win or you go home. So hopefully Canales and this team is ready to execute, play well, play in the moment. Don't overthink it. Just do your job. And, they exceeded expectations for me. Not record wise. I actually expected us to be 8-9, but I was expecting us to be able to challenge for the division, but I didn't think 8-9 would win the division. I thought it'd be more like 10 wins, but I'll take it. We exceeded expectations. We're NFC South champs, and we're going to the playoffs. We're hosting a playoff game against the Rams. Hey, we're playing with house money now. This is a team that you don't want to play in the playoffs. We got nothing to lose. So, I hope we win. Hopefully it's a very competitive game, but even if we lose, hey, I might be mad in the moment watching the game, but it's been a great season. And so I'm along for the ride. But if you guys haven't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. So that way, whenever I go live, typically I try to go live Sunday night or Monday, and then try to do a video during the week. So I'll probably do a video posted Tuesday. So I'll probably do a Monday night and post it Tuesday, going over the Rams. So again, I appreciate if you guys can hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.